Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're going to be getting into something today that's really important for anyone who's interested in healthy eating, and especially if you're into like low-fat diets or vegetarian diets. We're going to be talking about gallbladder health.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's something that a lot of people don't really think about, but these diets can be fantastic for you in so many ways, but they do sometimes come with a few unexpected side effects that are important to be aware of.
right. And I think it's important to emphasize, we're not here to demonize these diets at all. There's so much good they can do, but knowledge is power, right? So to kick things off, can you give us a little gallbladder 101? What is this thing and what does it do?
Sure. So basically, your gallbladder is like a little storage pouch for bile. And bile is this fluid that your liver makes, and it's like super important for digesting fats. So when you eat something that has fat in it, your gallbladder squirts out some bile to help break it down.
Okay, so it's getting the signal like, all right, time to get to work.
Exactly. And what's interesting is there was this study done a while back, published in the American Journal of Gastroenterology back in 2012. And they found that when people eat really low-fat diets, like consistently, their gallbladders don't contract as often. So they're not getting that workout. And that can actually reduce what we call gallbladder motility, basically how well your gallbladder moves and empties.
Interesting. So less fat equals less frequent gallbladder contractions.
Yeah.
But what's the problem with that? What happens when it doesn't do that as much?
Right, that's the big question, right? And that's what we're going to get into right now. Let's do it. Well, when that bile just kind of hangs out in the gallbladder for too long, something interesting happens. The cholesterol in the bile, it can actually start to crystallize.
Crystallize.
Yeah, like if you think about when you leave a sugary drink out for too long and you get those like sugar crystals at the bottom?
Oh, right. Okay, so it starts to solidify, basically.
Exactly. And those little crystals, they can clump together and form what are known as gallstones.
And those are the culprits behind the pain and blockages we hear about.
Yeah, exactly. Those gallstones can cause a whole lot of problems, sometimes even needing surgery.
Oh, wow. Definitely want to avoid that. And, we were talking about vegetarian diets earlier and how those are often seen as, very healthy. But how does this all tie into those eating styles?
Right. Well, it's important to remember that vegetarian diets, even though they're really good for you in a lot of ways, they tend to be naturally lower in fat, right?
So it's not necessarily the veggies themselves that are the issue, but potentially that lack of fat.
Exactly. And there was this review, let me see, it was published in Digestive Diseases and Sciences back in 2014, and they basically found this link between vegetarian diets, especially the ones that were really low in fat, and an increased risk of gallstones.
Oh, good to know. Okay, so that's something to watch out for. And what about rapid weight loss? I've heard that can also be a risk factor for gallstones, right?
Absolutely. That's a big one too, because when you lose weight really quickly, your body is basically breaking down fat for energy. And that releases a bunch of cholesterol, which can end up in your bile and contribute to those gallstones forming.
So it's kind of like a double whammy then. Like rapid weight loss combined with a very low-fat diet could really increase that risk.
Yeah, you got it. And actually, there's this study, I think it was in The Lancet a while back, 2000, I believe, and they actually found a really strong connection between rapid weight loss, low-fat diets, and a higher chance of developing gallstones.
Wow. Okay, so this is a lot.
Mm.
But I'm hoping there's a way to find a good balance here. I mean, we don't all need to start adding tons of fat to our diets, do we?
No, not at all. And that's a really important point because it's not about adding any kind of fat. It's about choosing the right types of fat.
Okay, so let's talk about that. What does a gallbladder-friendly approach to dietary fat
Yeah.
actually look like? Okay, so let's be more selective and make sure we're getting enough of those good fats.
Yeah, exactly. It's about finding that balance because when you get those healthy fats in your diet, it's like they send just enough of a signal to your gallbladder to be like, okay, time to release some bile,
Yeah.
It keeps things moving, prevents that stagnation that we were talking about.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's kind of like giving your gallbladder a little nudge, a little reminder to do its job.
Exactly.
Okay, so for our listeners who are really interested in low-fat diets, vegetarian diets, all that good stuff. What's kind of the main takeaway here in terms of keeping their gallbladder healthy?
I think the biggest thing is just to be mindful, Even when you're choosing these really healthy eating plans, just remember that fat isn't the enemy. Those healthy fats are really important, and even small amounts can make a big difference. Just make sure you're including some of those good fats in your meals every day. Avocado on your salad, a drizzle of olive oil, a handful of nuts, it all adds up.
This has been so interesting. It's like we're always hearing about the benefits of reducing fat, but we don't always talk about this other side of the coin.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good reminder that with everything in life, It's all about finding that balance.
Absolutely. Balance is key. Our bodies thrive on it.
Well said. All right, so there you have it, everyone. As you're whipping up those delicious low-fat vegetarian meals, remember those healthy fats? Your gallbladder will thank you. And that's it for today's deep dive. We'll catch you next time.